Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my final thoughts ahead of the Game Week 29 deadline. Captaincy choices, transfers to make, what to do with Reece James, all that stuff will be featured in today's video. So if you're excited for it, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 50 likes. Leave a comment, what are you doing with your team for Game Week 29? Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, this is how my team is shaping up for Game Week 29 as of right now. Of course, I'm going to be making transfers and stuff, but this is just a little bit of a picture on how I'm currently setting up. I did finish Game Week 28 with 103 points. Rafinha blanked again and got a yellow at the very end of the game, which was really annoying. Jimenez scored though, which is kind of just throwing a spanner into the works because a lot of people were going to get rid of Jimenez, but now he started and he scored, so does that kind of bring him back into the equation? It's a really tough one, to be fair. But yeah, I have Sarr in goal away at Everton. My back line is Trent, James, who is of course injured, so I'm going to be getting rid of him, and then we've got White with a double as well. Rafinha, triple captaining Salah, Son and Saka in midfield, so 3 doubles there, and then we have Jimenez, Broja and Lacazette, and then on the bench I have Foster, Digne, Ramsey and Kilman. Kilman is now also a headache because Kilman was starting every single game and then he missed last night's game and they went and won 4-0, so now potentially he's a rotation risk, so I may end up getting rid of him. It is just an annoying situation, to be fair. You get one player that comes back in the form of Jimenez, and then you get one player that doesn't play in the form of Kilman. So really annoying there. But that is how my team is currently shaping up. So with transfers, what I'm just thinking of doing this week is just I was originally going to get rid of Digne because he's just a little bit too expensive. Plus the fixtures aren't too good for Villa in the next few after like Game Week 30. I mean, even Game Week 30 and 29 is tough. But then we've got Wolves, Tottenham, Liverpool, Leicester, and he's 5.1 mil. And Matty Cash is right there as well. I mean, if you had Matty Cash over Digne, then you've absolutely smashed out of the park. Like, Matty Cash absolutely just killed Game Week 28. Jesus, man. But yeah, so what I'm thinking of doing is just simply going from James and Kilman, taking a -4 and bringing in Robertson for 7.2, and then I have 4.7 left for Doherty, who luckily didn't get a price rise last night, so I have just enough money to bring in Doherty and Robertson. I'll obviously have to make my transfers today because Doherty is definitely going to have a price rise overnight, so I'll have to lock those in today, unfortunately. And again, I only ever make early transfers when I generally have to. Like, if I don't make the transfers today, Doherty is definitely going to go up in price and I won't be able to do this move. And I think I'm just going to get rid of Kilman as well because, like I say, I would have kept Digne, but this gives me obviously Sarr playing, White playing in Game Week 30, Digne and Doherty, so there's 4 players there. Saka, Ramsey, Rafinha and Son, so another 4 players there, and then Lacazette and Jimenez. So I've got like, what, 10 players playing in Game Week 30, so I'm absolutely fine with that. And I'm getting rid of James, who again, you potentially could hold him. Let's talk about Reece James for a little bit. Yeah, you could potentially hold him, to be fair. I mean, he's going to be out for like at least 4 games, or he might even come back before that. But those 4 games are obviously going to consist of like Champions League and stuff like that. They're not just talking about Premier League games. We have the international break as well coming up. So he should be back for Game Week 31. But at the same time, Chelsea don't really have anything to play for now. You know, they've kind of solidified that 3rd spot. They're not going to win the title this year. They're getting Champions League football next year. So all they're really going to need to do now is concentrate on the Champions League this year because, as I say, they're not going to win the league. So they're going to want to probably keep Reece James for the Champions League games, especially if he's quite injury prone this season. Like, they don't need to play him in the league if they've got nothing to play for. So even though Reece James could potentially be back in Game Week 31, I think he's necessarily not a good option anymore. And we saw Rudiger get benched last night as well, which nobody expected. Literally the most nailed Chelsea defender, and even he didn't start. So yeah, generally don't think it's probably worth keeping Reece James at the moment. There's obviously a lot of good options to bring in for Reece James. You could downgrade to Doherty to give you a lot more money. You could upgrade to Robertson, which is obviously a little bit more expensive. I like the Robertson move a little bit more because then it gives you the chance to easily transfer to Cancelo later on in the season. Now again, Cancelo might also be rotated, but if the title run is kind of like in their hands again, like they're only 3 points in it now, basically. So if they get like 6-9 points clear again, then they're probably going to bench Cancelo quite a bit and keep him for the Champions League, because obviously that's the trophy that Pep wants. But if it's 3 points constantly, like, he's going to have to play Cancelo in the Prem games because, you know, they need to win the games. So yeah, I think that Cancelo is a nice option for Robertson going forward as well. Plus, Robertson has a really nice home game at Watford. in game week 31 after the break, which is really, really nice. And I mean, even after that, if you didn't want to bring Cancelo in, like, yeah, he's got City, but then he's got Villa, Everton, Newcastle, Tottenham, Southampton, Wolves. You know, that's like a really nice kind of run of fixtures going into towards the end of the season. So Robertson could even potentially be a hold, and you could just double up on Robertson and Trent for the rest of the season. So yeah, that's what I think I'm probably just going to do. And then I'm bringing in Doherty as well. He's got a really, really nice, he's got a nice double, to be fair. Like, United and Brighton away, like, Spurs aren't great at keeping clean sheets, but we've seen how bad United are at the back. Brighton are out of form. West Ham are also technically I'd say they're out of form at the moment as well. They're definitely not playing like we're used to seeing. Then they've got Newcastle in game week 31, then Villa, Brighton, and Brentford. So I think he's definitely a hold for a bit, and that'll give me a chance to get rid of like Jimenez and stuff. I might even just end up downgrading somebody like, because I'm going to want to bring in Leicester players as well, because they're going to have a few doubles coming up in like game week 30. You know, like 1, potentially 32, potentially 33, whatever. I'll probably just get rid of Rafinha that week, to be fair. Like, Rafinha, I mean, I love the guy, and he's got some nice fixtures coming up, like Norwich. Wolves away is a tough one, then Southampton, Watford. Hopefully Leicester double in 33, because then I could just get rid of him when he plays Chelsea and bring somebody in like Barnes or someone. Because I think Barnes is hopefully going to, I mean, it's going to be tough to bring him in because it's like literally the same price as Rafinha. So whether there's going to be price rises there or whatever, then most likely will be. But like I say, Leicester have 3 games to rearrange, so it potentially gets to the point where you start bringing in somebody like Barnes. Vardy is also another option. He's just quite injury prone this season as well, which is not great. Could also go with Maddison, but also quite injury prone. I wouldn't really fancy any Leicester defenders at the moment. I just don't think they're capable of keeping many clean sheets. Even if they have some nice fixtures, they've just not been solid at the back at all. So yeah, Barnes, I think, is potentially one of the only players I'd really look to bring in for Leicester, and he's an easy swap from Rafinha as well. There's also the point of not having Kane as well, which is a little bit like worrying, but I mean, I think Son on his day can easily outscore Kane. I know that Kane has penalties, but I mean, against Everton, Son could have had so many more points than Kane. He just couldn't finish on that day, unfortunately. Even though he did score one, he could have had so many more. So yeah, I'm not like hugely upset about not having Kane, but we'll have to see what happens. A lot of people are going Kane and Kulusevski and Doherty over Son. So if Son does score, he's actually a little bit of a differential. Speaking of Kulusevski as well, I think if you have Coutinho at the option, if you have Coutinho at the moment, I don't know what I was talking about there. If you have Coutinho at the moment, I think honestly, just take your points and run. Like Coutinho, I know he's in like crazy form, just hauled so well. But the thing about Coutinho is now, like, they've just got not a very good run of fixtures at all. You know, they've got West Ham, then Arsenal, Wolves, Tottenham, Liverpool. Like, I think honestly, if you brought Coutinho in, I think you just played it really well, and now's probably the time to get rid of him. And he's an easy downgrade to Kulusevski as well, if you are trying to get another Spurs midfielder in, because, you know, Kulusevski's 6.1, probably going to go up to 6.2 overnight, but he's a lot more cheaper than Coutinho. Or if you have like Ramsey and you want to upgrade to Kulusevski, I think that's also a really good option. Honestly, Villa players just aren't great going forward because of the fixtures, and I know I have that. I know I'm saying that owning Digne, but I think I need to get rid of Kilman more. I don't really want to double up on Wolves defense either, so I think I'm definitely going to be getting rid of Kilman this week. And, you know, Digne definitely plays as well. He's going to play in 30 against Arsenal, so I don't think I should even risk that. Like, I don't want to keep Kilman and then him not playing game week 30, because then I'm just kind of shooting myself in my foot. So I'm probably going to do that. Captaincy options this week, I mean, Salah, I think, isn't even a standout this week. I mean, I'm going with him anyway just because it's Mo Salah. And I think he's going to hopefully bag a couple. But Kane and Son are also really nice options. It's just Spurs are really difficult to kind of, I don't know, guess how they're going to play, because they'll go beat City, they'll beat Everton 5-0, then they'll lose to Middlesbrough, they'll lose to Burnley. You know, they're very much all over the place at the moment, so I don't really trust them too much. And I'm saying that bringing in another Spurs player as well, and some people are tripling up on Spurs players as well. Completely understand that. Like, they might go to United and Brighton and just completely dominate both of those games, you don't know. But personally, I think Salah, I know I just said that he's not the standout captain this week. I just think if you're not risking it, you know, I think Salah is the way. I mean, like I say, Kane and Son are not bad captains at all this week. You just don't. They're just so inconsistent. Spurs are. You just don't, like, Kane will either go and score a brace or he'll just do nothing all game. You know, I know he's in form right now, but we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, I think I've answered most questions, really. I think of the big questions that people kind of want to know the answers to. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 50 likes. Leave a comment. What are you doing with your team for Game Week 29? How did your Game Week 28 go? Let me know. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. It's everything from me, though. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.